Yes,
a lot of different things. So what we got, sir?
Well, as you mentioned, Tiana's Bayou Adventure was recently in cast member previews. And since the previews began, the ride experienced all kinds of technical difficulties. It's gone down repeatedly. The animatronics weren't working. Sensors were tripping. Evacuations were occurring.
Sensors were tripping?
Sensors were tripping, man.
Whoa, crazy.
I hate when no sensors trip.
Tripping, man.
Man, I tell you what, this
tripping.
takes me back to the days of Test Track when it first opened. I remember that. Took a whole year to iron it out.
Oh, wow.
And then some.
But they did it.
They did do it eventually.
If you head over to allears.net, there's a story by Quincy Stafford, which I thought was pretty funny, chronicling her attempts to ride it. Because she spent I want to say 2 days and a cumulative 7 hours waiting in line trying to ride it. And it just kept breaking down and people getting evacuated. And she never got to ride it.
Oh.
And so I thought that was kind of humorous.
Poor thing.
But now that the first round of cast member previews for Tiana's Bayou Adventure has ended and the attraction is getting a much needed break before now we're doing media. I didn't realize this has already started. The media previews have now begun.
Yeah.
People all week long have been discussing all the issues the attraction has had during this past week's testing. And many have been taking Disney to task for not putting enough money into the redo, not thinking things through properly, or taking into account the environment in which these animatronics would have to perform in, et cetera, et cetera. So I thought we should take the time to give our thoughts on the issues that this attraction has faced in its first opening week.
Man, it's so crazy that this happens in an election year.
Oh, wow.
It's like people have just taken it to there's two different sides and just attacking it.
They're already on edge.
Yeah, I'm just like, come on, y'all, really? I know y'all like us. We haven't even written it yet, but at least, we're looking at both sides of the thing.
Exactly.
There's a healthy balance, but damn, guys.
Yeah. Eli pointed this out before we got in the air. He's like, on Inside the Magic, they had an article that said, "I told you so."
Yes.
Splash Mountain fans gloat over the downfall of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And it hasn't even opened yet.
Right.
The downfall.
The downfall.
The deluge.
It's over. And when it comes to Disney websites, Inside the Magic is the bastion of integrity.
Yeah. They are reputable.
Of integrity.
Just great journalism being done over there.
Poor Ricky. I'm so sorry, Ricky.
Yeah, how the mighty have fallen. Anyway.
You could have sold it to us. No, just kidding.
Look, from the beginning, we've questioned a lot about this attraction, the swamp on the mountain, the stupidness of the salt dome, the motivation behind even changing the theming. And I might not like what they did or how they twisted our culture to jam a square peg into a round hole, but rooting for something to fail because you don't agree with it, that just seems like a bridge too far for me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's what I meant by election year. Just come on, man.
It's just too much tribalism. It's people just picking sides. Like, if you're a true Disney fan, okay, you might have some critiques about it, and some of these critiques are going to be legit, but, experience it, look at it, critique it for what it is. The idea to critique a ride that's not working properly in its opening week, that just seems like, you're just reveling in your own righteousness.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because name me one attraction that hasn't done that.
Exactly.
I mean, I talked about Test Track because before this, I remember Test Track when it first opened was the most egregious one to be like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And that's understandable because that was a pretty advanced ride system that they tried to implement. So yeah, it took a little while, but it went through the same things. Now the argument could be made, hey, wait, this ride system's been in place. It's been working for years and years and years. So why is there having issues?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I mean, you still got timing things and computer things. I mean, they probably upgraded the technology to a bit. And so just like their IT system, if you're ever trying to access the internet or just trying to get your Genie Plus stuff, it's not always reliable.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's fair for them to judge it so early when it's not supposed to be released to the public for another 20 some odd days. And they got the sneak preview. We didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I would also figure, though, it's also summertime. If I had to stand somewhere for a series of hours and it was like, oh, well, the head fell off, and I might just naturally be mad because I would have such high expectations for this thing because it's supposed to be a game changer. When it doesn't live up to that, while I've been out in the heat going through humidity and stuff, I might be slightly perturbed.
That's a good point. Now that you say that, I can see that. Yeah, 7 hours in line in the summer heat might make me A little
Oh,
irritated.
Yeah, so maybe they need to start doing these nice private releases, during the cooler time. Maybe it won't be so hostile, if you will. But they also gonna have to have bugs and things worked out. But like you talk about like Rise Breaking, I think like Rock and Roller Coaster for me, I tried to get on that thing for 3 or 4 times every time. Years.
Yeah.
And I think like I was finally like into my 40s by the time I got to writing. So I know these things break, but they're just trying to knock out the kinks. I want to hope and think,
Well, they're doing testing. Yeah, like any programmers, things are going to break. Hopefully you fix it. You fix it, Felix it or something or whatever.
Yeah, they're almost there. They're almost there.
See what you did there. Rachel, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little premature for us to be so heated.
Yes.
Yes.
But I am disappointed it's been down so much. Like, that is concerning. Obviously, it's nobody's. Well, I don't know if it's not our business, but Disney's not telling us why it's been down. And so we don't really know if this is something that's like easily fixable or if this is just like, new system bugs or whatever. So I'm hoping that it's something that's easy to fix and it won't be like this all the time. But yeah, that is concerning that it's been down so much.
We haven't heard anything about any logs sinking. That's at least good.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's all a little premature. And most people who are saying all this stuff have not ridden it.
Yeah.
And so I do feel like, I don't know if you really can have like that passionate of a position about it if you haven't physically been on the attraction yet. Like, I think it's okay to have, like we had our opinions based on the POV last week. And that's fine. We just were talking about how we think it will be, how we're expecting or, reactions to what we're seeing in the POV. But we all acknowledged like it might be completely different when we get there and we might feel differently. I feel like people are forgetting that part. They're pretending like they've already ridden it in their minds and they have this opinion and they've already decided it's whatever. And I think that is a mistake.